Kaz and I landed in Dublin and caught up with everyone else. We caught a bus over to Limerick, and that's where we picked up the bikes. And by crikey, we were off.
I'm not going to say anything, but I was going to buy one book. Let's get out of here. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Pleasure to meet you.
Well, I got my books, but I got ripped off blind too, but in the nicest possible way. I'll tell you what, you've got to love the people of Ireland. They're as friendly as the country, and that's beautiful. The first couple of hours we're ripping along the coast and we're heading out towards Kilkenny and Kilrush.
How's the first couple of hours been today on the road?
Every corner is like another postcard, you know? You get that with Ireland, don't you?
Yeah.
It's so hard to sort of look somewhere and not see something that's a mind-blowing postcard shot. Now, the NEVERMIND plan's never that simple. We're taking lots of back roads. We're heading up the west coast from Limerick. We're heading over west to Kilrush, as I mentioned, and then from there we're up to Lisdon, Varna and Enniston and all these wonderful places up the coast of Ireland. It's just fantastic riding wherever you go. 2-lane road, lots of room, no big trucks, and awesome views in every direction. And our route's going to take us through Galway, along the coast for the most part, up over the mountains, because we're heading over to County Sligo. Meeting up with the people on the trip is one of the things I really enjoy the most, you know. Just a fascinating crew. And you tend to make your mates, lots of mates along the... Because you're stopping and starting and having a coffee, a morning coffee in a cafe and a lunch here and, you know, more than the odd pub at night and the rest of it. It's just a shared experience, and it's the people you share it with who really make it. The thing about Ireland is it's such a compact country. People have been living here forever, and it really shows. And people live everywhere too, because it's all beautiful. It's not like Australia where you've got a heavy concentration in one corner or one side or something like that. There are people everywhere, there are roads everywhere, and I think we took nearly all of them somewhere along the line. This is us heading up through Ballyshannon and Donegal, and wherever you go, you're going to find names that remind you of Australia. Ballina, Kilkenny, places like that. Guess why? Because there were so many Irish people came to Australia. All the way up the coast you run into these fascinating little places. This little cafe, which from memory was just near Donegal, is down on the water. It was absolutely beautiful, just such a lovely place to stop. Eventually our destination is to take us right up to the top, Marlin, which is the northernmost point of Ireland. But to get there we're running past all sorts of lakes and inland little towns, and it's just absolutely glorious. Ireland all the way. Naturally, there's lots of little beachside stops because, you know, Matt's got this thing about diving into ice cold water and encouraging his mates to do the same. So off we go, doing it again. Well, not me. I'm sitting on the beach with Karen. See, we're looking. Now, I said before that we're on a variety of bikes. We are a variety of Royal Enfields. Kaz and I are on a 650 twin, which has got lots of room for both of us, and to be honest, it's just perfect on these little roads. And a lot of the team are on the 450 Enfields, which are a good thing too, up and a whole lot faster than the original 410. They're a good bike, and these are the kind of bikes that are perfectly suited to this sort of operation because they got brakes, good handling, That's what you need in Ireland, not outright power. There's too many tight little twisties and carry-ons for just sheer power alone. I didn't miss it one bit. Oh, another beautiful, quaint little town with a quaint little pub. Perfect when you're heading up to the top. Well, after a really big day's ride, we've made it right to the northern tip of Ireland, and it's absolutely beautiful. And after a fairly decent night at the pub, get a load of this. It's still light. 10 o'clock. You having a good time, Kaz?
Sure to be sure.
You bet we are.
Morning.
Good morning, Karen. That night at the top of Ireland was absolutely magnificent, but it just seems to get better as we head southeast, you know, through tiny little roads and cottage towns. You just think, wow, this just can't get any better, but every day it does. There's always something to look at, you know, whether it's rock formations or some of the old castles, some of the fascinating people that have just lived in Ireland and taken Ireland to their heart. It's amazing, it really is. And always rock walls covered with grass. Seems to be sort of the Irish thing wherever you go. It's just magnificent country, and as you can tell too, we must be having the best run of sunshine ever. We had plenty of time along the way to stop and have a look at some old ruins, and some of them just come with fascinating stories too, like this one that was built by a madcap bishop. I think he had too much money. And then of course there's the rock formations. Ireland's got some beautiful rock formations because it's pretty much all rock. This reminds me of some parts of Wollongong, to be honest. But anyway, lava flows, lava tubes. How good is this? So we're running down the coast past Ballycastle. From here, when it's high enough, you can get a view over to Scotland. We're on our way to Belfast, and in Belfast, we're going to have a day off. But that's fair enough too. You know, after 5 or 6 days on the bike, it's nice to have a day off. And you never know, I'm quite sure there'll be a pub involved somewhere along the line. As always, the timing on a NEVERMIND trip is just perfect. Belfast has had its troubles over the years, as we all know, and we did a black cab tour while we were there with a guy who used to be in the IRA, who explained a whole lot of the so-called troubles to us. It was fascinating, it really was, and it was probably the most moving thing that I remember from the whole trip. Here's a quote from an Irishman for you. "The Irish love everyone except each other."
Take my hands, take my whole life too.
Would you believe it? The handbrake found an Irish Elvis in the middle of Belfast.
Falling in love with you.
But later on I found an Irish Jimmy Barnes. That's the thing about Ireland. The pub entertainment, the pubs themselves are just fantastic. Well, after leaving Belfast, I don't know how many heads I'm sharing my helmet with, but by crikey, it was a big night. We're heading south down the east coast and on our way to Wicklow. We're going to skirt Dublin on the way, but we've already seen Dublin, so that's just fine. Oh look, this is amazing. We're right up the top of the Wicklow Mountains. See the lakes down there? I think that's actually the sea in the distance. It's a big fjord. There's a running race on, 700 odd mad Irish people running up and down the hills. And we're just chopping through the motorbikes. We're taking back roads, of course, all up around the back of the Wicklow Mountains, which is just incredible country, incredible scenery. And by this stage, we've sort of melded together as a team of riders, you know. We all know what we're up to, we all like each other, we're all getting along really well. And it's cold. That's because the clouds have blown in after 12 days straight of sunshine. That must be an all-time record. But we're all ready for it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Go team, NEVERMIND, I reckon. After a few more back roads up through the Wicklow back country, we're heading on down to Kilkenny. And as usual, not a main road in sight. We saw some beautiful things along the way. Back in the 5th and 6th century, the Vikings were raiding all over Ireland, or just starting to come in, as the Christians were too. This is one of the earliest churches in this part of Ireland, and it went right back to the 6th century. Now from Kilkenny, we're heading down to Cork. If you look at the map, you can see it's only, an hour and a half's drive, maybe 2 hours, but not in Ireland and not when you're with NEVERMIND. We take all the back roads, we soak up the scenery like you wouldn't believe, and trust me, coming up to Cork, and the Ring of Cork, of course, you get to see some amazing country when you take these little back roads. It's the sort of stuff you'd never do in a tour bus, that's for sure. Just like the roads we take, all the back roads, at NEVERMIND, we don't always stay in the most obvious places either. We're heading to Cork, but we're not going to stay in Cork. We're going to stay just outside in the little town of Blarney. And you might have heard of Blarney. You've probably heard of the Blarney stone anyway. Oops, there's some Blarney sheep on the road. When we got to Blarney, we had plenty of time to have a good look around and climb up the castle. That's a bit of a worry for me. I hate heights. Karen doesn't seem to mind though, and she's really keen to have a go at this Blarney stone apparently.
Blarney stone.
Karen kissed the Blarney stone and I'm jealous. After Blarney, we launched in and took a whole bunch of back roads because we're heading over to Dingle, which is on the far southwest coast. This is the Wild Atlantic Way, and by now the weather's changed. In fact, we had our one really bad day of weather about now. It wasn't too bad though, because where we were heading around that coast, you can see everything. You can see Neolithic barrows, burial mounds out in the paddocks, standing stones, and then just about everything from the old Irish famine cottages all the way through. And do you know what? You just constantly get the idea that in Ireland, they started with 10 billion rocks and then they spent the rest of time stacking them up in different ways. It's just a magnificent place. Well, all good things come close to an end, and now we're heading back to Limerick where we can drop the bikes off again before we hop on a bus and head over to Dublin.
Hey, the Darth Vader! I didn't even know he was Irish.
Whew, well, there you go. We're back in Adair. We've had 2 weeks of the most magnificent riding country ever. Huge bunch of people. I've discovered the pleasures of multiple corners. Car castles, Guinness,
Fish and chips.
fish and chips, the sweetness of Irish whiskey. This has been the most magnificent country. Yes, thank you. I had an absolutely wonderful time. Yes, it was brilliant. And you know what? Friendliest people on earth. That's what makes Ireland. Here's Matt.
What a trip!
Oh, what a trip! I'll tell you what, I'll just tell them, Karen, and the camera, and everybody else. How good was this?
I don't need those on, do I, today?
No.
Thanks again, never mind.
No
Never
worries.
mind.
Thanks for coming, guys. It doesn't get any better than that.
No, it doesn't.
Some of our best work islands. So
Absolutely.
come along next year and check it out for yourselves. We've had a few drops today, but it's not cold.
It's not cold at all. And I'll tell you what, you know what?
I didn't even wear a jacket. I'm just riding in a hoodie.
I've been having too much fun to even bother about it. Never mind, it's over.
Let's go get a pint of Guinness.
The places we've stayed at, I'm like, I've got a washing machine in my room. my clothes are over there washing while we speak because I'm thinking, I've got to find a laundromat because I'm away for like 5 weeks, and it was in my room. Like, it's mad. It's mad. Yeah.
Best accommodation.
Yeah. Plus, I just walked around Dublin for aimlessly like I do. I think I've done 6Ks, but everything's new. It's just great. Yeah.
So he's the last guy in the pack, which pretty much also means he has to go chase anyone who gets lost. So
Or
it's quite
falls off or has a
falls off.
breakdown. It's the hardest job on the trip.
the hardest
actually.
job
So
on the trip.
Very proud of my son. Actually.
Yeah, it should be, mate. Yeah, he did really well.
Cheers to that.
On you, mate.
So come and ride with Matt, Roothy, Big Al, Hunter, Kaz, Pete and Woody. You know, we'll all be doing this again.
And a
soon,
big
so
thanks to Frankie,
Frankie.
who runs the show.
Frankie, we
Behind
have
the
Frankie.
scenes.
And
Good on you.
it's just been an amazing experience. And thank you, John. Thank
Thank you,
you
mate.
for fucking
On
everything.
you, brother.
Lost my shoulder, broken wing.
Oh, that's right.